Hello students, in this today's lecture we'll be discussing about research problem. The problem lies everywhere around us. They even lie in our doorsteps and in our backyards. Human nature is so complicated that a problem solved for one individual will still exist for another individual. A problem solved for one class, school, teacher, situation, system, time, etc. Still situation, system, time or a problem solved for the time being may reappear with the lapse of time. We become habitual of living in the age of problems. We are so much surrounded by the problems that we suffer from problem blindness. But in order to solve the problem or making research, we need to delimit the problem. Selection of problem is not the first step in research, but identification of the problem is the first step in research. A topic or statement of the problem and research problem are not the synonyms, but they are inclusive. The problem concerns with the functioning of the broader area of field studied, whereas topic or title or statement of the problem is the verbal statement of the problem. The topic is the definition of the problem, which delimits or pinpoints the task of a researcher. The topic must very well define the problem. It is the usual practice of the researcher that they select the topic of the study from different sources, especially from research abstracts. They do not identify the problem, but a problem is made on the basis of the topic. It results that they have no active involvement in their research activities. Whatever they do it mechanically. Second step, you have identification of research problem. The following steps are to be followed in identifying a research problem. Step 1, determining the field of research in which a researcher is keen to do the research work. Step 2, the researcher should develop the mastery on the area, or it should be field of his specialization. Step 3, he should review the research conducted in area to know the recent trends and studies are being conducted in the area. So the review of the research which is being conducted in that particular area is a very important thing to be done. Step 4, on the basis of review, he should consider the priority field of the study. So the next term comes the priority field. Step 5, he should draw an analogy and insight in identifying a problem, or employ his personal experience of the field in locating the problem. So insight in identifying a problem is an important aspect over in step 5. He may take help of supervisor or expert of the field. Step 6, he should pinpoint specific aspect of the problem which is to be investigated. Third point, you have one of the most important function of the student is to clarify his thinking, achieve a sense of focus, and develop a manageable problem from one that may be vague and too complex. So the student has to put on his full energy while deciding the problem of his research. Now, statement of the problem. Kurlinger has identified following 3 criteria of a good problem statement. A problem should be concerned with relation between 2 or more variables. It should be stated clearly and unambiguously in a question form. Clarity must be there. It should be amenable to empirical testing. Now, meeting these 3 criteria in his problem statement will result in a clear and a concise idea of what the researcher wants to do. This sets the stage for further planning. Fourth point, we have evaluation of the problem. When considering a problem, a researcher is required to ask himself a series of questions about it. These are helpful in the evaluation of the problem on the basis of personal suitability of the researcher and social value of the problem. Following questions must be answered affirmatively before the study is undertaken. Is the problem researchable? Is the problem new? So these 2 points are very important. Is the problem significant? And last you have, is the problem feasible for the particular researcher? In order to be feasible, a problem should agree with the following: research competencies of the researcher, of course, yes, interest and enthusiasm of the researcher. Main aspect you have, that is the financial consideration in the project, time required for the project, that is what is the defined time span, and administrative considerations in the project. Now let us just have a glance at the flowchart which has been summarized, the various steps which are involved in research. First you have problem formulation. Once you formulate a problem, second is literature survey. Third, you have development of hypothesis. Fourth, choice of sampling design. Then data collection, interpretation of results, and last you have ultimately the report writing. So thank you very much students for giving a silent ear, and wish you good luck for your further studies.